was, okay, we're going to start with the Navy SEALs, because if you can't get behind them, you can't get behind anyone.
Exactly.
And took 35 Navy SEAls, won an injunction protecting all the Navy SEAls, just not to be punished while they're asking for an accommodation. Not saying the accommodation has to be granted, but just saying you can't punish them. You can't kick them out. You can't withhold pay. You can't bump their rank. You can't prohibit them from traveling. All these types of things. So start with the Navy, started with the 35 Navy SEALs, then became a class-wide injunction for all the Navy. And then the other branches started to pick it up before eventually Congress got involved and got rid of it. Yeah, so his story is great because it's, those SEALs, they did not have the weapons to fight in that type of combat. And they're not used to being in a courtroom. They're used to dealing with weapons and all that. And this is a very different fight. So we were honored to be able to come behind them and help them and set a really strong precedent throughout the country for them.
Yes, definitely. I like that. They're used to fighting with weapons, and the training they go through is like, oh my gosh. I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
North American Mission Board. I thought that was kind of an interesting twist. We're talking religion and all that.
Yeah. Yeah. There was an issue where Southern Baptist type deal. There was someone that was applying for, that was trying to work at a church, be a part of a church. And he had some stuff in his past that made churches not really want to do stuff. So people talked and said, hey, this is not a good person to have working for us. And then he sued the church. And really what it comes down to is what's called the Church Autonomy Doctrine, which is the idea that when I was talking earlier about separation of church and state, you don't want the church getting involved or the state getting involved in the matters of the church. You don't want anytime someone gets upset about where their tithe dollars are going, for suddenly that church is in court, because then our churches would just be in court all the time. So church autonomy means that the state, really things within the church need to be resolved within the church when they can. And there needs to be very, very little times that we're in court for anything church related. And so that we won that case on appeal to make sure that try to protect that church autonomy doctrine.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's but if it had been a regular business, you could have
Correct. It's a whole different situation.
It works both ways.
Yeah.
Okay, I know one I want to ask you about. Yes. Okay. So the lemon law, and this is not, I've had a lemon car before. It's not a lemon car. It's fascinating. Tell us about the lemon law, because this is huge and nobody knows about it. So all the different municipalities around the country aren't able to take advantage of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So the term lemon comes from a case called Lemon v. Kurtzman, back around the same time as Roe v. Wade. So we had a court that was very, if things aren't aligned the way that we want it to be, we're going to kind of create case law to create these new precedents that didn't exist. That's how you had Roe v. Wade and those types of cases. And so what Lemon said is, hey, I know we know separation of church and state isn't in the Constitution, but we kind of feel like it should be. So we want it to be anytime that religion and government intersect, that there's really strict scrutiny on it, very, very harsh. We don't want those two to touch. Anytime government and religion touch, bad. And we're going to make it so that anytime a public citizen sees anything like this happening, that we're going to give them the authority to sue, which if you're upset at how your tax dollars are being spent, you can't sue. But if you're upset about a cross being on government land, you can sue.
Interesting.
So that's why we've had nativity scenes, 10 Commandments, all of those, how we've seen those taken down is because of that.